every singer have to develop their own vocal inflection. Now compare this. God of all comfort, giver of life, Father of mercy, to this. God of all comforts, giver of life, Father of mercy, you're faithful and true. We bask in your goodness, oh yes we do, deep in your love, and with joy overflowing, we give you thanks, God of all comfort. Did you hear the difference? Let's talk about vocal inflections.
If you can talk, you can sing. There is really nothing to it.
Breathe in, breathe out, add a little vibrato. Yes, anyone can sing, but you gotta be consistent.
Know your do re mi is just like 1, 2, 3.
You will be the best and you will sing so well. It's time to sing with Frank at TBL.
In singing, inflection refers to the subtle variations in pitch, in tone, and expression that give a melody emotional depth and musicality. And I'm sure that's what every singer wants. You as a singer, I'm sure, would want your singing to have emotional depth and musicality. That's what good singing is all about. So, inflection essentially is how a singer can manipulate the way they deliver a note or phrase to convey meaning, emotion, and intention. So this could involve things like pitch variations, which is a slight raise or drop in pitch on a note, often used to emphasize a certain word or part of a phrase. Now, there are various tools you can use to create or develop your inflection. You can use vibrato, just like I did when I sang the second one. The first one was God of all comfort. Hope I'm on key. Yeah. God of all comfort. Did you hear that? You can go, God of all comfort. Did you hear that? It adds a kind of inflection, emotion, and depth. Another one is melisma or riffs and runs. A lot of singers use this to add emotion to their singing. They also use it to emphasize certain word or a part of a phrase. This in general adds a melodical emotional depth to your singing and musicality. It shows you a high level of musicality. You have to know that inflection helps make a performance more expressive, preventing it from sounding flat or monotonous. Okay, a lot of singers, like I said, use riffs and runs. Do you know what riffs and runs are? Okay, so let me demonstrate with Giver of Life. Giver of life. So I emphasized the life. Let's consider the line deep in your love. I can sing it simple, monotonous, and flat. What I mean flat is not the pitch, okay? It sounds boring, like boring, yeah. Deep in your love, no vibrato, nothing. Now I'm going to go a little overboard with riffs and runs, okay, with this line, okay? You don't have to do it this long. So I go, deep in your love. Did you hear that? So I emphasized the word life. And this helped that part of the word become more expressive. The more vocabulary you have, let's say in English language, the more you're able to express yourself in speech when you talk. Same thing in singing. The more color, the more tools you have, the more inflection you have, the more you're able to express yourself from within as a singer. Another thing is rise and fall in the melody. So sometimes the pitch will gently rise or fall as a singer moves through a phrase, adding a sense of flow or drama. A good example is like slur. Listen, giver of life again. Giver of life. Did you hear that? Life. You can use several other things to make the pitch vary, okay? But slur is a good one. And another one is the vocal tone or adjustment. It's a way you adjust your tone to give you a different kind of color. Yeah, and some singers actually do that. You see, my normal talking voice or my normal singing voice is based on the neutral level of the larynx. So if you touch here and swallow, definitely you'd feel it move up and then back down to the neutral level. The neutral level is the level you talk with most of the time, okay? And if you want it to go down, you yawn. And it goes down. And the going down gives it a deeper and richer tone. Going up gives it a kind of nasal sound to it or nasal tone to it. Now, either way, you can change the pitch. You can vary the pitch either to maybe a nasal sound or a sound that's more, that's deeper and richer. Again, let me show you an example. Giver of life. Listen to the word life, okay? I'm gonna sing it with nasal resonance, but first of all, the simple form of it is giver of life. Did you hear that? Normal larynx, neutral larynx level. Now listen again. Giver of life. Did you hear that? Giver of life. Did you hear the tone? It's not life, it's life. So let me show you the opposite of it. So the opposite is when the larynx is dropped, just like what happens when you yawn. So let me show you an example of that, okay? So consider the word faithful, the fall part of the faithful. I'm gonna make it deeper, okay? So the normal one, faithful and true. Now listen, faithful and true. Did you hear that? Faithful, a lowered larynx, and then I come back to normal. And true. That's it. So singers normally add a pinch of this here and there. The nasal one, especially jazz singers, they like adding the nasal ones here and there to create inflection. Or you use the deeper one, you can actually add it to any style. Here and there creates a nice inflection in your singing. Now remember what I said, inflection helps make a performance more expressive, preventing it from sounding flat or monotonous. Now what I mean by flat doesn't mean the note is going flat. No, the note could be pitch perfect, but it lacks expression. That's what I mean. It's often the little changes in delivery that helps a singer connect with the audience emotionally. This is what makes the elite singer very different from just a singer. So we have a singer, just good, average, and then we have a really, really, really good singer. So let's talk about yet another thing you can use to add inflection in your singing, and that is dynamics. Okay, so listen, the flat one, the emotionless one sounds like this. God of all comfort. Everything the same volume, but listen. God of all comfort. Nice, right? You can even add crescendo. God of all comfort. Then another one is vocal register. Some places I use chest voice, some places I made it falsetto, some places I made it head voice, and so on and so forth. Let me sing it again. God of all comfort, giver of life, Father, did you hear that? Father of and I come back to normal chest voice. Mercy, faithful and true. So you can have a combination of a couple of them. Like in this word, deep in your love. You can go, deep in your love. Did you hear what I did? In that one, I went from chest voice to head voice, and I came back down to chest voice. Another thing I think a singer can use to create more inflection is what we call accidentals. Notes that are not supposed to be there, but you add it anyway. Sometimes they create a bluesy kind of feeling. Yeah, and you know that's really emotional. Now a good example would be where I sang the last line actually. And with joy overflowing, we give you thanks, give you that note. We give you thanks. Like I always remind singers, they are artists, because a painter would use his hand and colors and maybe a pencil to draw and color, give it different colors. Also, you as a singer, your color is your voice. So the more inflection you develop in your singing, the more emotion, the more color you have, and the less color. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. So remember, inflection is the way you deliver a note or a phrase to convey meaning, emotion, or intention. So to recap, here are some of the things you can use to develop your inflection. Vibrato, melisma, or like a lot of people call it, riffs and runs. Dynamics, vocal register, accidentals, and your tonal color. And that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot. Start practicing as a singer. Start practicing to develop your inflection. It will do your whole world of good, and it will take you from this level to way up there. So some of these things I've told you, they may not come in one day. Of course, they won't come in one day. You have to develop your muscles, the muscles that coordinate your singing, to eventually be able to do these things. Like vibrato, you have to practice with exercise. Vibrato is simply an oscillation of the voice going from one note to another. And then faster and faster. It's actually 5 oscillations per second for the normal natural sounding vibrato. Then how about melisma, or what a lot of people call riffs and runs? The same thing. You have to develop your muscles. There are exercises I have that you can use to practice to develop your muscles to be able to do them naturally, and also when you're singing riffs and runs to hit the right notes. Dynamics is something you can actually start applying now. I mean, when you talk, sometimes you talk loud and sometimes you talk really soft. It's the same thing with singing. Start applying it, start practicing it. Listen to really good singers sing and you notice these things. How about vocal register? I teach that a lot. It's all about technique. When you say vocal register, we're talking about technique. And then accidentals, those sometimes difficult to find notes, is still practice, is still exercises. Then finally, tonal color, yawn, or swallow. Yeah, so sing in these ways. Swallowing gives you the nasal sound, then yawning gives you the deeper sound. Okay, so apply these things, here and there you're singing, and it makes a whole lot of difference. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.